the woman suddenly had a crazy idea. While making a chocolate cake, she scraped every bit of fresh dog poop off her shoe into the batter. Then she carried the freshly baked cake and knocked on her neighbor's door. The neighbor, who had just moved in, happily accepted the kind gesture. Nick did this because she was nearly driven insane by that neighbor. Just a few days earlier, the man had moved in next door. At first, Nick didn't think much of it, but when she was about to go to bed, ear-piercing heavy metal music blasted from next door. They were throwing a party. Though Nick was irritated by the noise, she held back her anger. Unable to sleep all night, she dragged her exhausted body to work the next morning. On the way across her lawn, she nearly stepped on dog poop. After a long day at work, Nick just wanted to sleep again. But the heavy metal music started blasting once more. This time she couldn't take it anymore. She stormed over and knocked on the neighbor's door. To her surprise, the scary-looking man was actually quite polite. He immediately turned down the volume and promised to stop letting his dog poop everywhere. Satisfied, Nick went back to bed. But not long after, she was woken again by the roaring music. Furious, she rushed back to the neighbors. This time, however, the neighbor turned aggressive. Nick had no choice but to call the police, but the station said it wasn't their responsibility. Now Nick was completely helpless. She angrily grabbed her pillow, ran to her car, and tried to sleep for an hour in a quiet park. But at dawn, she was confronted by the park manager. Coincidentally, this manager had once pursued her. Nick thought she might get away without a fine because of that. But to her shock, the man slapped a hefty ticket on her car and walked away. Back home, Nick fired up the loudest lawnmower she had to get revenge. But after only a few steps, she stepped in dog poop again. So Nick baked a chocolate cake the same color, mixing in the poop she had just stepped on. Then, pretending it was an apology, she tricked the inconsiderate neighbor into eating it.